All right, hey, good morning, everybody. Christopher Franks with Texas West Capital. It's just after 11 a.m. Central Standard Time here on Friday, the 4th of June, 2021. Beautiful, Bernie, Texas, which is, we've been getting rain, guys. I mean, if you don't live in Texas, it's hard to understand how, happy we are about it. We get a little frustrated sometimes because it keeps raining, it seems like, lately here. But at the end of the day, man, we've been in such a drought for so long, and so this rain's really kind of welcome. Not the severe weather that comes with it, but it is what it is. So hopefully these lakes will fill back up during this summer, man, because we are a bunch of water-loving people down here. Lakes, rivers. We got the beach just a couple hours away down, Corpus Christi down that area. So, oh, man, not that we're really going to fill the oceans or anything, but the lakes and the rivers nearby are a great thing. So hopefully you guys are doing well. Bitcoin, we're going to talk about Bitcoin today. It's still not out of the woods yet, but there are some possibilities, so we'll take a look at that. We'll take a look at the dollar. Took a bit of a hit this morning with the NFP numbers, the non-farm payroll. We'll talk about that a bit. And TLT bouncing up, as well this morning, really kind of taking off as expected. Much in line with expectations there. TLT being your bonds, your longer-term investment-grade securities, which are your treasuries. And, so we'll take a look at all that and maybe take a look at some extra charts you guys want to look at. So how are y'all doing? Y'all doing all right out there? Not getting involved in all the nonsense online, I hope. Remember, we're adults, guys, and I know there's so much... there's so much nonsense that goes on site. It's like online is like a bunch of adolescent, a bunch of preteen boys basically getting out there and preteen girls getting out there and kind of just acting the fool. I promise you guys, the more you stay away from that and the more you concentrate on what you're trying to do here, which is learn how to trade and trade effectively, the better off you're going to be. The more time you spend on that other bunch of nonsense and worrying about who's doing this and that and all this other, grade school nonsense, guys. Not even high school nonsense, grade school nonsense. The sooner you let go of all that and, pay attention to stuff that really matters, the better the more of a chance you have of your trading becoming much better, much sooner. As long as you're still getting involved in all the nonsense, guys, you're not really paying attention to trading. Trading is secondary to that. And if it is, you're going to get the results that being secondary was going to give you. I know that may hurt some of y'all's feelings. I'm not trying to hurt your feelings, but I'm trying to be realistic here with you. I'm trying to get you to understand so that way you can do well. Hey there, Josh. Good to see you. Jared the Great. Good to see you, man. Crypto Mowgli's here. My friend Bill checking in from, he says, a very wet and gray UK. I'll be honest with you. I've never been to the UK, but for whatever reason, whenever I think of the UK, I usually think of it as gray and gloomy. And this will probably really set you off, but I also often think about it the same way with Ireland. Just a product of movies and whatnot, I know that. But I thought it was kind of funny to mention, so don't hate me. Don't hate me. I'm sure y'all got your thoughts of Texans, Americans and especially Texans. It is what it is, right? Hey there, Nevlusian. Mike, good to see you guys. Claudio, what's up, buddy? Checking in from Romania. Always love to have that. Mark is here as well. Let me see here. Priscilla, good to see you checking in. Ernest of Gaia, he says, would be awesome if you were a speaker at the Bitcoin conference going on. I consider it every so often, finding maybe a way to get involved in it. I don't know, guys. I do what I do and I get done with what I get done because for me, the importance is what we do at TWC. And yeah, potentially a good advertising medium, getting out there. But at the same time, when you get involved in those things, it tends to put you in a certain area with crypto Twitter, basically. And that area is just suspect to a bunch of nonsense. And I don't have the time to deal with it, guys. And, maybe you don't understand. It is what it is. But again, guys, I see myself as an adult. I don't have time for the nonsense and the childishness that goes on so much in crypto Twitter. I'm here to make money, and I'm here to help you make money. if that's, if that's your desire. But I'm not here to, play all those childish games and do all that. And so I always get kind of concerned that I'll be looped into all that nonsense, and I just don't have the desire nor the time to do it. So I don't know, maybe some point, maybe. But until then, I'm over here with you guys for free twice a week, right? So there we are. Hey there, cue the action. Thomas Payne, Block Tech. Hank, what's going on, guys? Onyx King's here. Yeah, like Block Tech says, don't forget to like the video, man, if you guys get a chance. We usually get about a 10% rate of clicks for the like or dislike there overall. If there's 700 people that watch it, we get about a 70 of them click on it. I'd love to see something where everybody or close to everybody clicks on it. That'd be kind of cool, whether it's up or down, whatever. I'm not here to fluff your rear ends or anything, guys. You're either going to like it or you're not. If you're looking for honest information and somebody who's really trying to help you make a difference, you should hit the like. If you're just looking for somebody to validate your thoughts on what's going on in the market, then most of the time you'll probably give me a thumbs down. But that's on you. And honestly, the only reason I care at all is because it affects the algorithms, getting some kind of interaction in there to make the video show up a little bit more, because I compete with a lot of influencers and whatnot out there, and it's hard to get a video up there and to be seen by people. That's kind of where we are with all that. So, but I would appreciate it. Sure. Data, what's going on, man? Good to see you checking in. Let's see here. Mark's here. Got him, Mark. ARM's here. What else we got here? We got 075. Oh, gosh. Lord have mercy. What do you think of Scott dumping on his followers while he's telling them to buy the dip? I'll be honest with you, man. I've had real life stuff going on. I'm sure you've probably watched. Honestly, I haven't done any real research into any of all that, because at the end of the day, if he did or if he didn't does not affect what I do at TWC. I like Scott as a person. He's a great guy. I would say, my personal opinion is that I don't think that's what he was doing. I think he was selling, sure, but, he's got to give, at the end of the day, guys, just because somebody says, listen, the chart looks like it's going to do this, it doesn't mean that they're going to follow it up. That's the one thing you have to learn about trading, guys. But I want to say something here, guys. At the end of the day, you shouldn't be following somebody just to tell you where to buy and sell. Because then it puts you in this position where you think you're going to take, he did it or he didn't do it or whatever. And all of a sudden, you're all wrapped up in this nonsense that shouldn't have anything to do with you. Scott puts out a lot of great content as far as education and stuff like that goes. And so, I think that's the more important part of what he does. But I think you've got to be careful out there, guys, with anybody. Again, even when I talk about charts here and everything, I've been doing this for years now. I constantly remind you guys, you shouldn't trade on anybody's opinion, not mine, not yours, nobody's. You look for confirmations and you trade on those confirmations. I think the people that are most butthurt by that, and I'm going to use that term, are probably those who were trying to buy and sell. Just, they were looking for Scott to tell them when to buy or sell. But you should never be doing that. I tell you guys that day in and day out. That isn't, as long as you're not doing that, you're fine. There's no issue. And, I know a lot of people say, oh, look, he was selling it this time while he was doing this, so he was definitely dumping on it. Guys, that shows such a lack of real thought process in there. Is it possible? Sure. Do you know for sure that's what happened? No. And that's the thing. But what people do is they get hyped up and caught up with the, oh, this is what I think happened, so I'm going to nail him to the wall kind of thing. And see, that's exactly the kind of nonsense I have no time for, guys. And I don't mean that towards you personally, Zero. I just mean, again, if you've been following me for any length of time, what I'm saying right now is of no surprise to you. I don't deal with the nonsense. I don't do all that. I stick my head, put my head down and do my work. I try to help you guys out with understanding how to trade and the importance of learning how to trade versus just trying to listen to somebody else tell you where to buy or sell. Because that keeps you out of situations like this. And if that's what you were doing, if you were buying and selling based on him telling you where to buy or sell, and you lost money, I mean, that I'm going to be honest with you guys, that's 100% on you. You absolutely have to understand how to trade. You have to understand proper risk management so you don't get caught. Because even if, if he's not doing what you think he's doing there, he can still be wrong on a trade, guys. The problem is, if you add in these other things, all of a sudden it looks like he's this much worse person than what you may, think. And so, I don't know, guys. At the end of the day, I haven't really looked into it at all. I haven't had time. I'm dealing with, brother-in-law passing away, and helping my sister and my nephew out with everything they need to get done with that. Other than that, I put in 15 hours a day with TWC. And so, it is what it is, guys. But hopefully I've said some things there that make you think twice about whatever it is that you may be thinking. Again, I don't know anything really about it because I don't have the time right now to delve into it. And it doesn't affect my business and what I do. And if you allow it to affect what I'm doing here, then that's on you guys. I can't. Most people have made up their mind already when they ask me that question. And so nothing I can say is going to change your mind anyway. Nothing I can say about logic and thought processes and actual, thinking things through is going to do anything to change all that. If you're looking to ask me that so that I can hate on somebody, no, I'm not going to hate on people anyway, guys. I don't do that. You know that. It just, again, I think the most important thing you should be doing here is learning how to trade, not following somebody else's buy and sells. Now, you can look at those buys and sells and go, okay, based on your knowledge as a trader, does it make sense to enter? We can do that all day long. Sure. I look at other people's ideas and I consider them and I look at what I'm looking at because maybe they've seen something that I haven't seen, or maybe they're seeing it in a different way that might make more sense than the way I'm looking at it. But again, it's never a trade based on what anybody else ever says thing. That's just, you're just asking to lose money, guys, at the end of the day, but again, from what I do know, which is very little, just knowing about trading in general, guys, there's nothing probably out there that I can think of that would say that unless you've got him actually saying, yes, I was dumping on people, I don't think there's any way you would know that for sure. But again, what he does is a lot more, there's been so much more education and whatnot in that. And that's what you should be looking at. Or, in addition to that, look at the charts. This is what we do at TWC. I put on all these charts, and even if you're not trading them, you should be reading them and looking at them to get an idea of how the analysis is going. Why do I come to those decisions I've come to? And if you do that enough, it's like language. If you hear language enough, a different language enough, you start picking up what words mean, and you start learning. Same idea, guys. Okay? I hope that makes sense. But like I said, I haven't really had a chance to look into it. I really have no desire to at this time. I've got real life important stuff going on that's, significantly more important to deal with than that. So, like I said, hopefully, if anything, I've given you guys some things to think about. I don't know what happened, if it did or if it didn't, but there's so many reasons why it shouldn't matter to you. I think is the important thing of what I'm trying to get across here. If it does matter to you, then it means that you probably were looking for somebody to tell you when to buy or sell. And if that's the case, you're always going to end up behind the eight ball. You're always going to end up on the losing side, overall. Okay? So hopefully it makes sense, guys. Hey there, Lamb. Good to see you. Michael Williams, what's up, man? Aramis is here as well. Let's see here. The blue spammer of doom is waiting for anyone coming in here wanting to start being silly. Let me see here. Who else is here? Toby, what's going on, man? Looks like multiple people over here from the UK right now. Oh my gosh, you guys are too funny. What's up, Crypto Critical? Good to see you. Yeah, I don't want to become too well known. Then I really have to deal with spammers and all that nonsense. Darren, what's up, buddy? He says, thank you for the great advice. I've made thousands on the hot take for ATOS. Hey, man, love it, man. I love it. Yeah, I'm getting caught back up again, starting to get back in the groove of everything now that, prior we were dealing with everything with my brother-in-law being in the hospital and getting worse, and then now he's passed. So it's just dealing with the legal stuff. If you've never had anybody pass, there's a bunch of legal loose ends you have to tie up and everything. Good news to come out of this is that my sister and my nephew will be moving down here to San Antonio, which I'm pretty excited about. They haven't lived around me for, probably about 14, 15 years maybe. So that'll be nice to have family around a lot more. It's unfortunate the way it's happened, but, so we're getting all that done and get them down here. I don't know. I may even be able to rope her into working at TWC, guys. Who knows? Oh, man. Mark, what's going on, man? Yeah, no, unfortunately not. He did pass last Friday, so a week ago now. We've got a celebration of life tomorrow, ceremony tomorrow, so yeah. Hey there, Mike Kane. Ashley, good to see you guys. TV Canal checking in. He says, I think E is done. Bitcoin, we'll see here in a minute. It's possible. Definitely with Discord, we talked about that the last couple of days coming up to that target, that R1 pivot area. So we'll take a look at that here in a minute. Let me see here. Oh, gosh. Hey there. I see Spar Architects here. Lee Britton is here as well. Let's see here. Stefan, what's going on? David? Yeah, Scott Melker is who we're talking about. Yeah. Let me see here. Merv, what's going on? It says, whole of crypto Twitter traders buy the bottom and sell the exact top every single time. They do, don't they? Not me. If you guys follow long enough, you'll find out I'm wrong on occasion. Sometimes more often than not. Sometimes a lot less often than not. But, it's risk management and understanding where those validation, invalidation levels are that are the most important thing. And guys, I'll be honest with you, as traders, especially if you're new, one of the best pieces of advice I can give you is learn proper risk management. That is the key. That is where you make your money, okay? Beyond that, understand what invalidation and validation levels are, and however you are trading the charts, make sure you understand how to apply them properly with the way you're trading. If you can do those two things, you will have a lot greater possibility of coming out ahead and being a consistently profitable trader than not. As long as you ignore those two things, you're most likely going to lose money in the long run. It really is kind of that simple, guys, honestly. Let me see here. Professorio? Hey there. I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, he passed, but, it's definitely sad. But, it was a miserable 3 months, guys. I'm going to tell you right now, let me just take this moment here, and then we'll jump into the charts. If you guys even think you have COVID, even there's a possibility, go to the doctor right away and check it out. Because if you do, the earlier you start treatment for it, the more chance you have of surviving. He went in because of COVID. And then he developed ARDS while he was in there. And then for the last, 2 to 3 months, he was hooked up to the ECMO machine. He was on and off a ventilator. He had dialysis for the last month or so prior to him passing. I mean, 24/7 dialysis. I mean, he had so many tubes coming out of him. Absolute miserable way to live, and ended up developing what's it called? Delirium. In the ICU there for being in there so long and being hopped up on all that medication. It just awful. He got real bad thrush in his throat, so he couldn't really eat. It's just an awful thing. So, as far as that goes, he's not going to be in that kind of pain and situation anymore. So that's good. That's good. But definitely, guys, I don't think that you necessarily have to be so concerned that COVID is this huge thing. It's definitely going to kill you or anything, but for those who are susceptible, it can be very deadly. And those who wait too long to start treatment significantly increase the odds that it could be deadly. For most of us, though, it's a thing we get, and we can deal with it, and we can move on and be better. get better. But, if you happen to be just one of them ones, it's really going to do a number on you. It's very dangerous. So, you definitely want to get that checked out early. Okay, guys? Crypto Critical, man, I'm sorry to hear that, buddy. I appreciate you. Thank you. And I'm sorry that you had to go through it 3 weeks ago, man. Yeah, absolute no cool thing. Andrew, hello, sir. Good to have you joining in. I hope you come back, man. Carolac, what's up, buddy? Merv says, yeah, Chris, that's why we were here. Learned a lot from you the past year. So, man, I'm so glad to hear that. I really am, guys. Because you know what? At the end of the day, do I want you to join TWC? Sure. I think what we do is absolutely the best way for you to learn how to trade. I really believe that. If I didn't, there's no reason I'd have to spend all these hours every day, guys, doing it. But even if you don't, and you continue to come back to the show, I'm glad you do that because you can still pick up a lot while you're there, okay? It's just going to take you longer to get to that point. The condensed education, everything that you get joining TWC, will get you there sooner, but you can still get there over time, tuning in. So, yeah. Tahir, thank you, sir. Thank you. Yes, I appreciate it. Best Colt in town, Lamb says. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and jump on here. Hey, by the way, if you would like to join us, you can do so here at howtotradetowin.com. We'd love to have you there. I think we've probably got close to 100 hours of educational video content now. It grows by a couple hours a week. You get 2 weekly educational live streams. Wednesdays is our tips, tricks, and techniques. Thursdays is Elliott Wave. And I'm still working on getting whatever's going on with our live streaming platform when I do them. But once I get the issue figured out, we'll have probably on Mondays, we'll be doing Wyckoff as well. So that's 3 hours of live streams just for Tier 3 every week, where we kind of help you get into, we help you show you how to apply Elliott Wave in one. We'll be showing you how to apply Wyckoff in another, every week on the charts that are there. And then the tips, tricks, and techniques on Wednesdays, I think, are invaluable especially to new traders. Shows you different ways you can trade right away with specific rules. You know when to enter, you know when to exit, you know where your stop loss goes. So there's no way you can really mess it up unless you don't follow the rules. And so we've always got different techniques there. And we delve in deeper on price action patterns and candlestick patterns and things like that. All that. So, no, he didn't dump any Bitcoin, Bud Man. But anyway, yeah, so that and a whole bunch more. So come on over, you can check us out there, all right? So here's the big deal. Here's where we are with Bitcoin here, right? So we've been talking now that there's possibly this triangle going on here. And if so, it's probably ended up here at the recent swing high, okay? And if it is, then based on the height of this triangle here, this is for Kraken, that gives us a target then, a pattern target of 26,711, it looks like, based on the height of that, okay? However, the triangle, you need a drop down below wave D here, this swing low right here at about 33,423. If you get a drop below that, that'll be your first clue that the triangle may be valid and complete. But it takes a breakdown below wave B over here at $31,078.70 to confirm it. So until it actually drops below wave B, anything else could be happening. But once it drops below wave B, it's most likely that this is a triangle, and it's confirmed, and then we've got this target down here potentially. Now, the other possibility is we looked at this as a 1, 2 as an expanded flat, and then another 1, 2 of that circle 3 as an expanded flat. And then potentially we've got this leading diagonal here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as one of 3 parentheses of circle 3, wherever I've got that over here. Now, as far as that count goes, the drop here looks like potentially A, B, C down, A, B, C up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm not convinced that this is a triangle we're down yet, because if I look at this again, it looks like a flat correction, another flat correction here. It looks like ABC down for A, ABC up for B, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down for C. So what are we going to need? Well, we're going to need a breakout above this swing high right here as the very early clue that maybe the bottom's in here. So this is 38,148 and 70 here on Kraken. If we can get above that, that starts looking like, okay, maybe this is the count instead of the triangle, right? It takes a breakout above this swing high here. This would be your wave B at 39,244 and 80 cents. A breakout above that's going to add confidence to the idea that, again, this is a 1, 2, 1, 2, and then 1, 2 here working up. But until this triangle is still in play, unless we can get above wave C here at 40,893. If we get above 40,893, I'm sorry, and 60 cents. So if we get to 40,893 and 61 cents, 1 penny above, that invalidates the triangle. That is no longer a triangle there then. And so then it adds a lot of confidence to the idea that we've got the count that I've got on here in black. A breakout above this wave B of wave circle 2 here, up here at 42,559 and 80 cents. A breakout of that. Now that gets important because at that point, this is where you really want to look to get above. Because at that point, this is your swing low. So you've got this downtrend of lower highs and lower lows, right? But at this point, you have a low, a high, and if you can break out above it here, you have a higher low, and then you'll have a higher high. So you'll have a low, high, higher low, higher high. Now that's important because that gives us a bullish market structure off that swing low. So again, you're looking for things that add confluence, things that add support to the idea that maybe the bottom's in. And that would be a big one. But again, you still then need to watch. Your levels that you need to watch as you're going up is your interior wave 4 here at 45,823. Your exterior wave 4 here at right there around 51,389 or so. And then your wave B up here at 59,600. And of course, your all-time high up here at this was 59,600. Your all-time high up here is around 64,900. Those are your important levels, guys. If you are trying to go long, those are the levels that you want to see price overcome. And every one that it overcomes adds a lot more confidence to the idea that the bottom's likely in. Okay? That's how you trade that. But right now, the reality is we are still printing. Look, we've got a low, a high, higher low, lower high, higher low, lower high, higher low. So we're still consolidating overall. We need the breakout above either wave C or down below wave B to tell us if we're probably headed up or probably headed down. It's just what it is, guys. I know you don't want to hear that, especially, if you're newer, you want some confidence and, which way do I need to trade? But this is the reality of trading here. Nobody knows for sure. It makes a very good argument for a triangle right here, but until you're down below wave B, that triangle is not confirmed. And when you trade for long enough time, you start to understand why that's important, because many times you're going to see patterns that you think or counts that you think are correct, and then you'll find out that they aren't. They look so beautifully correct, and then you find out they aren't. So yeah. Let me see here. Lamb saying a $27,000 sale. Yes. Yeah. And here's the thing, I've been talking about it. So if we get that, I was looking at the idea that, if we went from earlier down here, we'd be looking at that mid 24,000, 25,000 area. And right here, I've got this as an A, a B, and then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as a C, right? So if this is a triangle, then this has to be a 4. Now the question is, this is the 1618 extension. Remember, if we measure out wave 1 here, and we put it up here to wave 2, this goes right beyond the 1618. This is a solid wave 3 here. Okay? So it's possible this could just be a 1, 2, 3, 4 is a triangle, and then 5. And if it is, that would only be wave A. At which point we'd have 3 waves back up, probably toward this 38,000, 39,000 area. And then we'd have 5 more waves down for wave C, which would likely take us down, I think, probably, around 16,000 or so. Let me see here. Actually, that's coming off really weird there with that count there. Let's see if we put this on log scale. Yeah, let's put this on log scale for this because it's such a big movement. But it gives us a 1-to-1. So if this was 5 down for A and then we went up for B to that area right there, this high volume node, wave 4, and we came down in 5 and C, 15,460 or so. At that point, wave C would equal wave A. But I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. I'm just saying that's where you've got to understand that it could end up, depending on what goes on here. Now, I've been looking at it, there is a possibility that maybe we have an A, B, and then maybe like an ABC is a 1, and then a 2, and then an ABC is a 3, and then a 4, and maybe we get an ABC down here to that 26,000 area for a 5, which would give us still wave 4. So even if it gets down there, it doesn't necessarily have to be wave A. There is the possibility we can get that count out there. What we'll have to watch then is, in either case, whether it's wave A or it's the ABC and 4 is finished, in either case, price is going to come back up. So you've got a long coming off that position. Like I said, probably up there about $10,000 at least. If it continues up through this area, through this wave 4, that starts increasing the likelihood that wave 4 would be complete there, and this would be, the beginnings of wave 5 heading up. Definitely adds to that once we get above this 38 to 40,000 area here. If it just gets up to the area, though, is rejected and comes on back down, well, then we know A, B, and we know we got C, so you got a good short and an amazing point to buy in, probably lower there. So just some thoughts on that. But, you don't have to be all worried about whether that's going to happen or not just yet, because we haven't done anything yet, and wave 4 may be done right here. This triangle is not confirmed yet. That's why we have to watch those levels I was talking about, especially if it moves up to break out, to start gaining confidence, invalidate the triangle and gain confidence that bottom's in there. And with this, I mentioned this last time, with this being all this consolidation here, as a 1-2-1-2, we would expect to see a nice strong move out when you break out above this area here. So you expect to see expansion of volume, larger candle spreads, as price rallies strongly through there in wave 3. Or basically wave 3 of 3 of 3, which is where most of your volume should come in, because you have all this consolidation going on here, ready to kind of break out strongly out of the area. So that's kind of where we're at the moment here, guys. Don't let anybody guarantee you the price is going to do A, B, or C. Nobody can guarantee you that. I've just given you the reasons why. It's possible there could be a triangle. It's also possible we've got a 1-2-1-2 going on. Until we see a breakout or a breakdown of those levels I mentioned, we're just waiting to see what goes on. So, yeah. Oh, geez. Lamb says, the weekly looks juicy, curling up a bit. Yeah, we'll check in there in a minute here. Let me see here. Let me kind of catch up with you guys here. Do I look at the monthly charts at all? Yeah. But, RSI on a monthly or even, you're saying on Ethereum. Yeah, or even a Stochastic RSI on those large time frames. They can stay high or stay low for a very short period of time, guys. Remember this. Look. I'll pull this right here, even on Bitcoin here. I mean, look at this. This broke into overbought here back in December of 16, and it didn't drop out of overbought until February of 18. So, you look at this here, December of 16, 17, 18. Over 2 years, it stayed overbought here. And up here at the very top, it broke out, we'll say right here in April 17, and it didn't break down from that until January of 18. That was a year that it spent at this very high 90-plus area. Or 85-plus area here, very high. So, again, guys, you can stay overbought or oversold. The longer your time frame that you're looking at, weekly, monthly, or whatever, the longer you should expect that price is going to probably stay elevated or depressed there. Yeah. So just keep that in mind. And I know you said Ethereum, but I've got the Bitcoin chart up here, so I just wanted to show you that. So yeah, and of course, as we were talking about, even coming up to this, moving in this year, especially in the early part of this year, I was mentioning how we had this bearish divergence here in overbought on the monthly. And so we got this move here. And so, the fact that we drop back out of overbought, that could be it and done. And we could see this potentially head higher now. This could be the correction off this large bit of bearish divergence. It's not the length of time that it's been diverging. It's just that the difference in price there. But I want to be careful to make sure that you guys understand that I'm not overly excited about this bearish divergence here because you have a strong thrust up here in the middle. And if I'm going to be honest with you, most time if I'm looking at this, because of the height of this spike here in the middle, I'm looking at this high to this high and then this high to this high. I'm not so much really looking at this high to this high. Overall, there's a difference in the high there. So overall, there's some outlier effect on there. But I think if you look at this just purely as a bearish divergence here without taking this into consideration, I think if that's the way you always look at it, you're going to be wrong a lot more times than you're not. And then you're going to say divergences don't work. And it's just because you don't understand how to apply it properly. That's all. But if I'm looking at this is a big move in the middle of there. So to me, it's this point to this point, and then this point to this point. And if that's the case, there's no real bearish divergence there. So no reason why anybody should argue that it has to fall lower. As a matter of fact, this pullback here on the monthly is finding support right here in the previous support here. See all the support area? That's where it's fine. It's trying to curl up right now. So, a lot potentially going on with that there as far as the larger time frame goes. Weekly, of course, bottomed out. Stochc RSI bottomed down here and oversold. It's curled back up trying to cross bullishly here. So we'll see what happens with that. Overall, you've got this this hidden bullish divergence right here. Let me put this on the weekly here. And so, again, you've got right here, you've got these lower lows with your oscillator. And then you've got these higher lows over that same period here, right here, with the price. So, it adds some support for the idea that maybe it's bottomed there and it's headed up, maybe. Let me see here where we at. Yeah, of course, you've got this spike of volume down here at the bottom, and that volume comes in right here where we've got this previous area. So you expect a price to hit this area. Remember, I gave you this target down here at that 30,000 level, before it dropped off there. And because it makes sense, where it is. And then in terms of, as I've shown you, where the Elliott Wave is, that would make sense for a wave 4 to kind of be. But we have no follow-through yet, and that's the concerning part. So we need to see, are we going to get that follow-through up? But again, we could just be consolidating here. You've got these people that went long here, or that went long before and then went long again here, protecting their position right here, buying up all that's being sold to them. The question is there going to be more supply or more demand coming out of this? And that'll tell us which way that's going to go. Off there. I'm going to catch up with you guys here. Hey there, Alex. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Let me see here. What's up, Mark? He's back. He had to take a call. But Ethereum does, Ethereum's looking pretty decent at the moment here. And this kind of gives me some hope for Bitcoin, something just that's not Bitcoin itself, because Bitcoin and Ethereum should move together. And so Ethereum here, I'm kind of looking at this again as a off the low here as a 1-2 expanded flat, right? Or a flat here, right? And then I look at a 1-2 and then a leading diagonal for circle 1 of wave numeral 3, okay? And so the pullback here hits the 50%, which, again, solid wave 2. Again, ABC down, ABC up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it looks like a flat. It's not guaranteed to be one until we get back above wave B, the same as on what we're looking at on Bitcoin here. Remember, it's almost the same exact pattern, guys. Remember? Right here. 1, 2, 3 down, 1, 2, 3 up, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's the same thing right here on Ethereum. But Ethereum, I mean, I guess you could look at this, maybe say, a triangle here. Maybe you could say ABC up as an A, and then B, and then C. This would have to be a D, though, and then you'd have to have an E. But I always get a little questionable when it comes to triangles when they almost take out the swing high. So we need to get above this wave B here at $29.13 and 56 cents on Coinbase. We've got to get above that to really kind of kill out the idea that there may be a triangle forming on Ethereum. And we got pretty close there. We got 28.90 here. So, that was what, $23 and $22 or so, $23 from that swing high. So I see a lot of possibility of why this could potentially go up. What I don't like is how fast this Stochh RSI is rising off this here. So we'll see. We want to get a move above. Your first clue is going to be a move above this 27.6928 here. You're going to add confidence to your account here on the move above wave B of 2 here at 28.73. And then if you can get above wave B over here at 29.13 and 56 cents, you're looking pretty dang good at that point. But then you've got let me see here. Nope, that is the bottom there. Yeah, that is the bottom. So yeah, you definitely want to do that. On the count here coming down, I've got this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as an A, and then ABC up for a B, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 is a triangle, 5 is a C. So even that count is pretty clean, I think. But what you'll want to see is a move above wave B here to really start feeling confident. This bigger wave B of 4. That's right there at $29,999 and I'm sorry, $2,999 and 99 cents. I'm going to type it in here just because I kept jumping over myself there. That's what you're looking for. A breakout above that. That is your key level. Once you get above that, you can feel pretty sure that the bottom's probably in. Because they get you above that wave B there. But that's it's a good distance to go from where we're at here. So you don't want to jump out ahead of yourself. You want to make sure you're getting above these confirmation levels if you're looking to enter. Anything you're doing prior to them increases the odds that you could be wrong and it's going to fall lower. So, yeah, that's kind of where we are there. Let's see here. For Ethereum, the spinning top on the monthly candle makes you think. Let's look at the monthly here. Yeah, so definitely, if you're looking at this, you've got a doji up here at the top. Now, we are talking about this right now on Tier 3 for our tips, tricks, and techniques. The last few weeks that we've been doing, we've been talking about price action and candlestick patterns. And I went through a big thing about this type of candlestick pattern this past Wednesday doing that. This is a pause, a potential reversal. All right? It's only a reversal if you get a close below the swing low. Following through. So, yeah, possibly could be. The thing is, if we look at that, how we look at this, maybe like a 1, 2. Yeah, let me zoom into the weekly. Maybe we can get a little better count on this here. So you look at this, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gives us 1, 2, and then 1, 2. And then, you count this up here, and you may have like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Basically, what we look like here is we look like we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is what it appears to be maybe from this point. But then we still have this here as well as this part here. Now there's not a lot, but there's multiple different ways you can count this area right here. which is something I discussed on Bitcoin often, back when it was doing it. You can look at this as a 1-2 here, and then you can maybe look at this as a 3, 4, and a 5. So you've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. And that would give you a 1 and a 2. And then, this move up here, maybe like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here maybe. So that could get you a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, there's ways you can count this that kind of do that, but don't assume that just because you've got this up here that this is definitely a reversal. It's just a pause. Look at this one right here. Same idea, much larger candle, of course, but nonetheless, big doji at the end of this advance just pulled back and then continued higher. So until you get a confirmation, if you're going to look at the monthly, you need either a close above the top or a close below the bottom to confirm this as either a pause and then continuation or as a reversal heading down there. Combined with the RSI, no, like I mentioned earlier about RSI, it can stay oversold for quite a while. It can stay high. It can stay elevated for quite a while because it is the monthly. It's a very long time frame. Now, if we have something like this on the daily, with an RSI on the daily like that, then I would be probably giving it more weight. But the fact that it's a monthly, there's such a long time frame in there that maybe. But we definitely have to watch it. We definitely have to watch it. I have not said that this is or is not definitely the top here. I've said we've got to see what's going on here to figure out what our options are. All we've done is go sideways, though, for a few months now, both with Ethereum and with, your Bitcoin. So anybody that's promising you one thing or the other, what they're trying to say is, I think it's going to be this way, but I'm going to tell you I guarantee it, which doesn't do you any good, right? How does that help you? Because if they're right, okay, they're right, but it wasn't because they definitely knew. It was because, well, they guessed right, Oh, excuse me. So, this is kind of where we're at, guys. This, again, guys, you're not going to get a fluff from me, okay? You're going to get the realities of being a trader. And the realities that I live by because they've done me very well. So that's what I'm trying to help you guys with here. And the reality of it is, you need to be trading validation and invalidation levels. You need to be looking for confirmations. Are you going to miss some trades waiting for confirmations? Yes, you will. But over time, what I've noticed personally, over years and years and years of doing this is I'm ahead more than I would have been had I not waited for confirmations. Because every time you jump in before a confirmation, you're gambling. Because it hasn't confirmed that it's doing what you think it may be doing. You're just trying to get in early. You're trying to be impatient. You're trying to be greedy at a point where you shouldn't be greedy. Once the confirmation comes in, it doesn't guarantee that price is going to do what you think or that it's going to get as high as you think or anything like that. But it adds confidence. It makes it a higher confidence trade. And if you concentrate on taking those higher confidence trades rather than a trade just because there's a chance, you're going to find out that you're going to lose a lot less money, which means you're going to, you have the chance to increase your capital account much quicker because you don't have to keep making up all those losses along the way. Even if you're using good risk management, if you're still just jumping in a trade because there's a chance, you're still losing money that you don't have to lose. But it's the hardest thing if you're a new trader to really kind of get you to wrap your head around because you can't stand the idea of missing a chance that price moves. But if you're trading, guys, if you're going to be a trader, then you have to absolutely understand that as a trader, every day is a new day. Every day has a possibility, has opportunities to trade. Now, some days are not going to be very good trading days, and they're not worth it. Again, something you have to get used to. Sometimes you're going to sit on your hands for a few days, depending on the time frames you're trading or what's going on. Or maybe even a few weeks sometimes, guys. But if you can learn this, if you can learn these things, then what it means is overall, in the aggregate, you should have a lot greater chance of being further ahead than you would if you were just being impatient and jumping in everything before you get confirmations and all that along the way. Okay? If wave B is a rising wedge what is a rising wedge triangle? I have no clue what that is. Those are two different patterns. A wedge and a triangle are two different patterns. You'd have to explain what you mean. He says, and this isn't a wave 4, which I'm also not sure why, because I don't understand. I'm sorry, I don't understand what you're talking about. I'm already long TV Canal. I'm already long Bitcoin right now. So yeah, we were already long from back over here when we were looking at these lower time frames and seeing that drop and that bounce coming off. I didn't get the bottom. I think I got in like right here around that 33,000 area. 32,000 maybe is what it was, somewhere right around there. I definitely didn't hit the bottom or get the bottom there. But I did it that morning because you see that right there was about 8 o'clock a.m. my time. And so that's when I start a little bit earlier working with TWC, and then I log on Discord about 8 or so, 8:15. And so it was after that that I actually entered long on that. Do I take trades on leverage or spot buy? It depends on what I'm trying to do. Sometimes they'll just be spot positions. Sometimes they'll be leverage. But because I'm in the U.S. and I don't VPN to other platforms, to hide where I'm coming from, my only real option for leverage is Kraken. And Kraken has a 28 or 30-day time limit that you can hold a leveraged position open. So, it depends on where I'm entering the trade, what's going on with the chart. If it's a position I think I'm going to be in for more than 30 days, I won't be in leverage, obviously. If it's something much shorter, then yeah, I'll jump on leverage for that. Yeah. Okay, Amdush, you're explaining here. You said triangles can only be wave B or 4. Yeah, 4, B, X. Yeah, sometimes Y or Z. Yeah. So if B is an ascending triangle, then it can't be a 2. Which wave B are you talking about? Are you talking about this one here? And if it's an ascending triangle, it's still a triangle. Oh, but you say it can't be a wave 2 if it's a triangle. Right. But an ascending triangle, I guess I'm still having trouble here. Understand what you're saying. An ascending triangle looks like this. And then like this. That's an ascending triangle. It's got a flat top here. Or you can call it a barrier triangle. Right there. The larger B, okay. Let me zoom out here a bit. Let me zoom out here a bit here. This one right here. No worries, man. I'm trying to figure it out. If I can't figure it out pretty quick here, we'll just move on. But I think you said the larger B, so this would be the larger B. And I think if you're saying ascending triangle, I think you're looking. I think maybe you're talking about a wedge like this. See, that's what I would get there, is a wedge. So, yeah, I'm not sure how that would be an ascending triangle. If it's an ascending triangle, you're going to break out through the top. If it's a proper ascending triangle, and we've got a triangle tool here. If it's a proper ascending triangle, that is that's basically thought. You think of this as accumulation before a breakout up. If it's a descending triangle, it'll look something like this here. And, the same idea, just, getting ready to push down through. Whoops. There we go. You're getting these lower highs toward this consolidation area before you break down through it. So, yeah. I've got it right here as a WXY. or Y here. So WXY and then A, B, C there. There's different ways that you could potentially count it. But the idea is that you get this wave B kind of finished up here. You got a zigzag, expanded flat, and then a zigzag makes a B there. Yeah, more or less what I've got here is a WXY right in there. But yeah, so see here. Yeah. But yeah, okay. Oh, I see what you're arguing. You're arguing when I was talking about the possibility of this being a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. You were arguing that this couldn't be a triangle here for a wave 2, which would be correct. It couldn't be a triangle, right? And I don't have that as a triangle. So yeah. So the important thing is we're here, and do we have a triangle, or do we have this 1, A, B, C as an expanded flat with a 2, interior 1, A, B, C as expanded flat with a 2, and then leading diagonal is a 1, 2. Do we have that going on, or do we have this as a triangle? And like I said at the beginning, you're just going to have to watch those levels that I talked about, and doing that makes it easy. As long as you're patient, guys, as long as you have patience, then all you have to do is wait for a breakout above these different levels, and choose where your risk management, or where your risk tolerance or risk aversion is on where you want to enter, or you wait till the breakdown here of wave B to confirm the triangle, and then you can go short there. If you go short before you confirm, before you drop below wave B, remember, anything can happen right here. Maybe this becomes a 1, 2, and then this is just a 1, A, B, C is a 2 here, instead of a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 thing we got going on here. Until it breaks down below this wave 2, the count is valid for the upward movement, and the triangle is not confirmed yet. So yeah. So I just want you guys to, be sure that you're watching. At the end of the day, it just comes down to your swing lows and your swing highs. And locally right here, we've been consolidating since May 19th. Low, high, higher low, lower high, higher low, lower high. We're just consolidating, guys. And it appears to be a triangle, but again, until you get that breakdown below that wave B, it's not confirmed. And if there's one thing you're going to learn about price action, if you're able to hang around long enough trading, is that often when you become really sure of something, the chart often slaps you around and goes the other way and does something different. And then you look back and go, man, how could I have missed that? It was clearly that other thing. Happens all the time, guys. But the good thing is, if you're using proper risk management and you understand your validation and your invalidation levels, then it's, when you are wrong, it's not a big loss. It's not a big deal. And, I speak nonchalantly about it because it really is. It's not a big deal. And if it's not a big deal, then you're less likely to get emotional about it, which means you won't sit there and brood on a loss. It means you won't try to revenge trade and jump right in and try, to make that money back immediately. All these things that are going to help you as a trader. So yeah. A lot of possibility in that, just by doing those things. I hope that makes sense, guys. And if it doesn't today, again, I still hope you guys continue to come back, and at some point it will make sense. If you're open-minded, if you attempt to be open-minded, it will make sense at some point. A lot of times, one of the more difficult things for new traders to do is to admit that they may be wrong. Admit that maybe they don't know what they're doing in the market. And if you're a new trader, I'm going to tell you right now, you don't know what you're doing. I can say this, guys. I've been there. I've talked to, thousands of traders over the years. It's always the same thing. You may think, whatever you're thinking is the same thing every new trader thinks when they first come in the market. Almost exclusively, guys. Which means, one, you're not special, which is good in this case, because it means you can give yourself an okay. You can say, you know what, listen, all right, fine, I screwed up. Now I'm serious about learning what's going on. And then you're open to learning, right? Where instead of just kind of hanging around that whole idea of, God dang it, I just can't get it right. And, and being self-loathing and all that. That won't get you anywhere. That'll keep you from doing well as a trader. So, these things I talk about are meant to help you so that you don't feel like you have to get to that point, that you don't have that point. Are the marks on my, well, first of all, hello there, 2019. Says, are the wave marks on your charts put there by you, or do you have some indicator, et cetera, to mark them waves for you? It's all mine. I put them in there. These are mine. And that's another thing, guys. There are some products out there that will attempt to give you potential wave counts. You cannot use those without understanding Elliott Wave, because most of the time they're going to be wrong. But they can help you. They can help give you a bigger understanding of what may be going on, some possibilities. But honestly, most of the time those are going to be wrong, because it's just software, guys, and we're just not to that point where we can give it real thinking, kind of like we do. And not that we'll ever be that that way with software. Software is a bunch of if-then statements, right? If, then, or, basically. So I just want to warn you guys, there are software out there. There are things that you can use to help give you wave counts. But unfortunately, a lot of people get in there because they think it's a substitute for knowing Elliott Wave. It's not. If you know Elliott Wave, and the better you know it, the more helpful it can be, then it gives you some possibilities. Because I've tried out some of these platforms, because I review things every so often for our members. And often, I've seen them where they give you a wave count and they say, okay, they'll say, okay, this is a 1, but your wave 2 target is down here below where wave 1 starts. And, you can't be. So we already know that count's all jacked up, right? Or they have a lot of trouble, as we do, right, defining triangles. And so usually if there's a triangle, they'll try to count it as a 1, 2, 1, 2. So just understand that, guys. If you're looking for indicators or software or whatever to do the heavy lifting of Elliott Wave for you, most of the time, especially if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to lose a lot of money with it. You absolutely have to understand Elliott Wave. So when you see it throwing out something erroneous, you know that it is erroneous, and you're not going to put any thought into it. Yeah. Yeah, here's the thing. Elliott Wave is not difficult. Elliott Wave just takes time. You have to learn. You have to memorize the rules and the guidelines. You have to know where your extensions are. 1618, 60, 618. The pullbacks, the 38.2. So wave 3 is going to usually be a 1618 at least, right? Wave 4 is a 38.2 of wave 3, and then wave 5 is usually a 61.8 extension of wave 3, and so you use these things constantly. So you have to know them. Otherwise, you're going to get things that should be like a 1, 2, 1, 2, and you're going to go, oh, that's a 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's not. And that's going to end up losing your money. But Elliott Wave is just a lot of practice, guys, once you learn it correctly. But to learn it correctly means you have to memorize those guidelines and those rules. And, you want to understand wave structure or wave personalities. You want to understand that wave 1, wave 1s on a reversal are often thought of as a dead cat bounce. They're often thought of as, oh, it's just going to go, it's just a fake out. It's going to go head lower. And then when wave 2 comes in, they think, oh, yeah, see, I was right. And then when you get wave 3 and it breaks out above wave 1, they go, oh, crud, I was wrong. And that's why everybody jumps in on wave 3. It's a breakout of the swing high. And by the time you get to wave 4, everybody's trying to now jockey for position. You're getting some profit taking. You're getting some new entries. And then wave 5 can be pretty crazy because of that. So, understanding these wave personalities also helps a lot. The most difficult thing, I think, of Elliott Wave is corrections. Because there's so many different ways that they can work out. And there's so many things you have to look for. And it just takes time, guys. It just takes time looking at it. It really does. It's going to take you that time to get used to it. And because seeing it over and over again is where it starts to click in and make sense. And that's why I started doing the weekly Tier 3 streams for Elliott Wave. That's an hour every Thursday that I do that. And you get access to all the previous ones. They're always archived there for y'all. Excuse me. But I do that so that way you can see how somebody's actually looking at it and applying all these rules and guidelines and getting their ideas of where things may be and how those counts come to be. Again, you see it, and you see it done over and over again. It kind of bridges that area between what you learn via a course or a book or something and actual practice. Kind of get that bridge there. Bill, not quite, buddy, not quite. 2019, you're welcome. You're very welcome. Amdu says, I don't have a musical mind, but I can play guitar by following structure. Wow, I love Elliott Wave. Yeah. TV Canal is looking for a break above 39.5 to be more bullish. Yeah, you're going to have to, yeah. But, you can get this one right here, 39.250 or so. If this is a 1-2, then that's your wave B. So a breakout above that gets you a little bit earlier than your wave 1. That should take you up higher. Really what I want to see, guys, what I want to see right now, I want to see it get above wave C here at that 40,893 and 60 cents. So that way we can go ahead and throw away the triangle. It increases the idea a lot that this count may be correct here. And then I want to see that move above wave B up here at 42,559.80 cents. Those are my two big levels. Those are what I want to see. The first one to just throw away the idea of the triangle. The second one to give us that bullish market structure off the swing low here and set up the move to take out the interior 4, exterior 4, B, and then all-time high. So that's how I'm looking at it. And of course, other way is the drop down below wave B over here, which would validate the triangle and say, hey, all of a sudden we're potentially looking down here at maybe at 26, 27,000 here. But remember, just because the pattern target is here doesn't mean price has to go that low. Price could stop right here, at 28,900 kind of area, and just be short and then head up. That's a possibility. It doesn't have to get here. This just gives us a target to look at. And then we'll have to watch the waves as they play out coming down with that. Yeah. Let's see here. Let's see. Channels do help with corrections. Yes, sir. They sure do, Onyx King. Let me see here. Could I look at the new USD chart? Yeah, I can take a look at that. I think I've got one from within the last few weeks, maybe. Yeah, I've got one back here from the 27th last month. Let's see how this is doing in relation to that. Oh, look at it. It's working perfectly. So I put this chart together on the 27th, which gives us right there. So we got a rejection around the EQ, support, a bounce, a rally here off right almost the channel support. We've got a breakout now of the channel. What we want to see now, this looks like a 1-2. I mean, if this is a 1-2, we've got 3 going on here. Then we should be looking for a minimum wave 3 target, just a little bit higher, maybe right around the area we're at, a little bit higher there at 0.5492. See if I can draw that in there real quick. Yeah, and so then that would give us a 5 just above wave B here at 61, 60, right around 61, 67 it looks like. I'll just drop that in. It's pretty close to it. So yeah, this would be a 1-2, and then you get a 3, you get a pullback for a 4, and then you get a 5, which breaks out above wave B, which is what you're looking for. You're looking for a breakout above wave B to add confidence to your count. And so that would just give you then that 1, and then you'd have a pullback for a 2. Remember, these are minimum targets we've got on here. So yeah, again, potentially give you a 1 up here, a 2 on the pullback, probably back toward this down support here, and then 3, 4, 5 as it goes. Let's see here. And price can go higher than these targets. Again, remember, they're just minimum expected targets there for wave 3 and wave 5 locally. But then this would give you your wave 3 there, pull back for your wave 4, gives you your minimum wave 5 then. Up there right at that 1618, kind of 1.23 area. There we go. And that then gives you your first 5 waves up around your previous wave of the larger degree. I tell you that the first subwave often is right around that previous wave of the higher degree there. A little bit before or a little bit after. This would take us just a little bit above it to get there. So yeah, I think there's a lot of good possibility on that as it plays out. So pretty much doing what we were looking for it to do already as of when I posted this back on the 27th of May in Discord. So yeah, there you guys go. Sorry guys, I gotta take a drink here. My throat's killing me. Josh, you're welcome, man. You're welcome. So that's kind of what we're looking at there. The dollar. Let's jump over here real quick, man. You know, gosh. So, you know, Lamb, you have to watch that, man. You have to go back and watch that. I showed you where the pullbacks were, man. You'll have to go back in the video here and just pull it back there and look at where that level is. It's labeled on there with what I drew in there. So the dollar, man. So here's the thing. We've got this macro low from January right here at 89.209, right? And we're assuming maybe that is the low, and we're heading up off that, right? And then I talked about the idea that we've had this big pullback toward this low, and I said, you know, we're so close to it that I said, you know, our bias needs to be to the downside unless we're seeing the breakouts higher. So we've gotten to this point now where I've potentially got this 1 and this 2 here. Let's kind of zoom back out of here. So here's that macro low back in January. Remember, with currencies, generally the macro reversals happen in January, in the beginning of the year. Historically, that's generally where they happen. So there's some support in that idea that this is that macro low here. And then we've got this, leading diagonal for 1. We've got this really deep retracement here for 2. And that's part of, what could explain that? It's just the idea that traders would potentially be rotating out of shorts and into longs and whatnot. And that's going to take a little bit because everybody's been, shorting down this move from, this is that March 2020 high based off the market low. This is when the stock market, Bitcoin, all that kind of bottomed out. And then, as those markets have risen, the dollar's dropped, right? But then we get to this point down here, and all of a sudden we have a lot of consolidation. A lot of consolidation happening right here at the same area. Same area. If we keep on going over here, again, support area here. This right here. And it's given us this slightly higher low off there, which is good. But nonetheless, it's a very logical area to find price-defined support. Now, it doesn't guarantee at the bottom's in, not at all. Again, guys, I keep telling you, we need to get above this 94,741 here. We need to get above that to really start feeling like that bottom's in. That's my level right there. That's the wave 4 on the way down, potentially. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. This being a 5 up as a 1, and then ABC, ABC, and then 5 down as a flat as a 2. So until we get above that 94,741, there's a lot of likelihood that we could head lower down off that. But, just trying to keep up with counts of where we're at the moment here, excuse me, it makes a pretty good case for the possibility that we've got this, that this wave 2 is finished down here as an ending diagonal on wave C. Then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up for 1, A, B, C down for 2, and then a leading diagonal here for 1 of 3. The pullback on this, 61.8. And that's been pretty straight across the board this morning. Your pullbacks in crypto and whatever all seem to hit that 61.8. I think in one of them maybe hit a 50%. Not just in crypto, but in your USD yen, your USD CAD, your Euro USD, all these things. They got this move toward that 61.8. And it appears to be in 3 waves. So we'll see. Now we need to have this breakout higher back up above. Well, in this case, it would be this wave B right here. This is 90.596. If we get above that, then that says we're probably headed up higher. We've got a wave, parentheses 3, minimum target of 91.579. In this area, we've got, look at all this right here. So you have generally this bit of activity here, right? And then it worked as resistance, dropped down, came up, shot back up, back down. Nothing really happening there. Pushed up, hit resistance in this area, dropped back down, shot back up through, shot back down. Really nothing going on here. So if we're going to go up there, we're probably going to move up there pretty sharply. It would make the most sense because we've continued to do that in that area. This is a large vacuum. Nothing's interested in this area. It's just empty space. There's no real interest, as you see here. So we could get a strong move back on up to this area of breakdown here. And like I said, popping right above that swing high right there tells us wave 3 is in progress higher. Now, if this instead moves back down and drops below wave 2 here at 89.663, then I'm looking at most likely it's going to break down below this wave 2, which is going to invalidate the bigger count. And we're going to drop down below the macro low here, looking at this yellow box area in the mid to upper 88s. That's kind of what I'm looking at the moment here. So yeah, I mean, locally here, we've got a low, a high, a higher low, a higher high. So structurally off the 25th of May, we've got bullish price action here. We got bullish market structure. That's the same thing I was talking about that we were looking for with Bitcoin. We had the swing low, that big low, and then we had the move up, that wave B up there, and then we're looking to make that higher high to give us that same bullish market structure. So yeah. Yeah, if you tell me what Solana's ticker is, I'll look it up. Is it SOL? Are you SOL with Solana? Oh, man, I got dad jokes for days, man. Though I'm not going to let my son hear that joke because that is not appropriate for his age. Let me see here. Yeah, let me know if Solana is SOL. And I'll look that up. I could look it up right here, I guess. Yeah, look at that. SOL. I was right. Let's see if we've got one here from any time recently. I got one here from mid-May. Let's see what it's done since then. Excuse me. Let's see here. Okay, we were looking at a couple of possibilities, it looks like, back then. Looking at this chart, I'll bet you I said if it's going to be this one, if it doesn't rally off the 50% here, that it would hit the 61.8. Makes sense. It's right above this structure here. So I'm going to look at this like that. Let's get rid of that right there. Let me see here. What do we got? Okay. I think we could probably change this up just a tad based on what's happened here. Actually, let me do this right here. 3, 4. Yeah, there we go. And I think this will be done with 5 here. Again, just trying to get the other possible count in there. We're going with this larger count. That would make this right here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Interior of the 3. And now we've got an ABC down for 2 here. So we'll go ahead and change that. A, B, C now. Oh, doggone, I hit the wrong one. There we go. And like I said, that gets us that 61/8 there. It's off here. Let's zoom in a little bit here. We got 5 up. Nope. Okay, so what we've got here is we've got a flat for 2. So we've got a 1 here, and then we've got an ABC down for A, AB, and then 1, 2, I'm sorry, yeah, AB, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is a C for 2. Oh, no, 5, dang it. Everything's moving, all right. So we can just get this in, and then we'll change it to the right kind of degree here. Let's go ahead. Yeah, let's go ahead and go with this. All right. This gives us an A, ABC down, and like I said, AB, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gives us a C up, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gives us C down. So it means we're probably in progress with a wave 3 here. Wave 3 is going to have a minimum expected target of right up there at the R3 pivot. Right there around 48.45. They give us a wave 5 minimum target of the R4 pivot up there at 53.879. This might push up a bit higher. It looks like we might have a 1, 2, and then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe not. And right here, of course, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to look out for a breakout of that to give us a 5 here. So locally, see if I'll pull this the right way here. Yep. Right here locally, we're looking for a wave 5, parentheses 5 here of numeral 3 at 43.20 to 46.42. I usually tend to expect it to hit the upper end of that. And then that would give us a, oh, it's not that one. Wave circle 3, there we go. Let's see here. And then I would give that wave 4 pullback should be 38.2, which would potentially get us down here. But seeing that like that, I think it'd probably just be a 23.6. So just a shorter pullback maybe. Right now I'm really thinking ahead here, you know, until these things happen. We'll have to see, but and why? Because oh wait, you know what? Those are other pivots. Sorry, let me get rid of those other pivots. Let me see here. Okay, never mind. I can see this pulling back to 38.2 here now, potentially. But yeah, it'll be the 23.6 to 38.2, so 37.95 to 41 for that 4. I think 38.2 is fine. And then that'll give us then a wave 5 target. Now remember, these are just guidelines right now because we don't actually have where they've ended or anything yet. So, you know, they could end up higher or lower or whatever. Yeah, so, you know, it looks like you get a wave 5 up here probably around $60 or so. Wave 4 should come down around the same area. Let's see. Yeah, see there's that 38.2 right there. At around 39.72. And then that'll give us then wave 5 target. Oh, doggone, I did the wrong way there. There we go. Yeah, up here maybe as high as 61.87. If we get the general extensions that we're usually looking for on those. Said we'd see there. Yeah. So I think there's some possibility in that. You're going to want to see a breakout above this is probably wave B right here. 39.603. A breakout above that should add confidence to the count. If this count is correct here and suggests that we've got that that wave 3 in progress, or wave 5 of 3 in progress. Yep, through there. Like I said, wave 4 should pull back toward it, and then wave 5 up there. But I think we've got a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll get a 5. Gives us a 1, 2. Big 3 here. 4 on the pullback. 5 up. Gives us this 3 up here. Just as a quick check, we can measure out wave 1. Pop into wave 2. And we should have wave 3 then, and 48.426 should be the minimum target. And we're a bit above that, so it looks good. The only thing that's going to change all that is if price drops down below wave 4 here. In that case, this may just be an ABC, because dropping down below wave 4 brings it pretty close to dropping down into wave 1, which you shouldn't have a diagonal here in wave 3. Wave 3 shouldn't be a diagonal. Now, it can be wave 3 of a diagonal, but wave 3 itself cannot be a diagonal. So wave 4 has to stay out of wave 1. If it drops into wave 1, then this is not wave 3 here. So like I said, that will invalidate it. So if you guys are looking to enter it, there's your confirmation level in red there. But if it drops down below wave 4, I'd be out because I would expect it to drop into wave 1, which would invalidate this as a wave 3 here. And we'd have to see whatever way we're going. Maybe at that point, maybe it becomes a... let me see here. Let's see, if we do this... Yeah, if it does that, then this might be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this would all be wave 1 here then. If price drops back below wave 4 here and into wave 1, then I would think this is maybe a leading diagonal here. Doesn't even have to be a leading diagonal. No overcrosses. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'd look for price to stay above the pivot here. Because if this is going to be wave 1, circle 1 here, the 61.8 is right here at 30.72. Right there above that pivot. You want to see it stay above that. So if it drops back below wave 4 into wave 1, then we look at this as wave circle 1 here. A, B, C of wave circle 2. Should bounce out of this cluster here. And then we want to look for a breakout above wherever this ends here, because that's your wave B, and that would be your entry to go up. And in that case, your wave circle 3 target would then be probably up here around 57.84, which takes you right around the swing high there. So, man, there's a ton of information for you guys. I just basically mapped out what's I'm expecting to happen at the moment, unless it breaks down, and what that would potentially lead to as far as the next one goes. So you should be good to go there. If y'all want to trade Solana against the USDT there. TLT, man. TLT's taking off. Again, this is bonds, investment grade securities here, longer term treasuries. And so this is something I keep up with. I update twice a week for Discord, beginning of the week and end of the week. So from the beginning of the week, we had this here, it broke out, and then it kind of rode this resistance down, and then it bounced off this ascending support, took off like a scalded cat, broke out above wave B here. So confidence should be okay. Increase now. Wave 5's got a minimum target up here. Right now, it's the 1 hour R3 pivot at 141.62. Those pivots will change next week, though. They change weekly. These hourly pivots here. But yeah, you've got this acceleration gap here as it breaks out. Basically, we've got a 1, 2, 3. We'll maybe get a little bit of a pullback here for a 4, and then we'll have a 5, and that'll give us 1 of 5. So we get a pullback for 2 and 3, 4, 5 heading up here. If TLT is going up, what that means is people are more concerned about the economy. They're buying those government treasuries to safely hold their money. So that's why you would see this advancing like that. In general, remember, we're looking at this coming off this low back over here, 18th of March, as the low. So I've got this as a 1, 2, 1, 2 right now, working up off that. Honest King says sold almost the top of 3 for TLT on the sideline until we get the bigger 2 pullback. Yeah, again, right now, 1, 2, 1, 2 sitting here. So if this is correct, we should expect a strong, good move out overall up through there. 4 hour is just kind of get going here. It's about mid-range as it breaks there. So that's looking good. As far as the 4 hour goes here, you can notice acceleration gap right up to the pivot there, and then this strong acceleration up through the pivot to the R1, where it's currently finding resistance right here in this 4 hour supply structure right here from the 26th of May. So break out of that should get us up here, get a little bit more, pressure we'll see in this area. And once we break out of that, we should be good to go up for a bit. As far as everything else goes here, I think we've got probably your preliminary support here. There's your change of character. Here's your selling climax. Here's your automatic rally. Here's your secondary test. And I think we've just got a lower, a last point of supply instead of a spring right here, I think is what we have. So if we're looking at that in that way, here's your range. Yeah, I guess you can do it like this. And I think that's what we have going here. I think that's what we have. Secondary test or selling climax on Mac rally. Secondary test here. Up thrust. Comes on back down here about mid-range. You see it's right here at the EQ, right here at this dash line. Finds support there and breaks back out. Last point of support right here. We break out to move up, pulls back, another last point of support. We should expect it to go further up here. You've got something called the creek, which is it's just your resistance. So it's this area right here. That's your creek. And so your breakout above that is your jump across the creek here. And again, it would go up. It comes back to test it as your back up against the creek, which is, again, just your pullback on your test there. And then it continues higher off. So I think overall it looks like we've got a pretty good accumulation structure going on here from March 18th through where we are over here. A few months of it should send us up higher overall. Onyx King, you're welcome, buddy. Yeah, man. This TLT's worked out real well so far. And looking at this via Wyckoff here, I think we've got a good case for us to continue higher off that right now. Crypto Raid says, "Scalded cat, come for the TA, stay for the dad jokes." That's a Texas thing. Take it off like a scalded cat, yeah. But anyway, yeah, and so what we're looking for here, guys, a bigger picture. The first clue that the bottom may be in is the breakout above this exterior wave 4 of C here. So that's right here at 143.27 cents. And so that would be our first clue that the bottom may be in. And then you want to jump up above wave B way up here at about 172.24. And that'll add confidence to the count. Again, this is the count coming off this this swing high back over here. As you can see, that's March of 2020. So again, when the market sold off, you see how everybody moved up when the markets were selling off in March of last year? Because everybody moved out of their stocks because it became a risk-off environment and they got into TLT. That's this move right here. I'll show you right here real quick, guys. And I do this because you may not be interested, but you should be. This is a bigger understanding of macroeconomics and what's going on. How does money move in the markets? Let me see here. So if we look at, Dow Jones here. On that. See it right there? There's your Dow Jones drop. But notice, leading into that drop, notice how TLT was rising already. From November of 19 here, kind of rising. Now, yeah, I kind of kept rising all over here. But notice, when this market shut off and dropped, people moved money out of the stock market into the TLT. Boom, pops back up. And then as we started rising up, it came back down. This has kind of done the sideways thing and held back over, which is interesting. It's just made a slightly lower low here off this. That's your A, B, and then your C down here. As you're getting up here. And so now we're at this point. Can I get rid of the rest of this? Now we're at this point where we're kind of doing this here, and price seems to have bottomed back over here and starting to rise up. So are we getting the lead in that we're seeing here before price comes down? Possibly, but if these are going up, if TLT is going up, that means the market is going into a risk-off environment. Again, my concern with Bitcoin with that is that Bitcoin is a very risky asset. And again, we've never had it in a in an actual recession or depression. We've only known it in a bull market. So we don't know for sure how it will react, but we can assume, based on the fact that it is a very risky asset, that people in general would move out of Bitcoin as it turned more into risk off, right? So if we go up here and jump in and grab Bitcoin here real quick. Excuse me. Let's do it right here. Let's go ahead and turn off the Dow Jones there. And we can see how it has worked. Let's see here. Oh, there we go. That's the wrong one. I was looking at the other one over there. There we go. All right, give me just a minute, guys. Sorry about that. Gosh, dog it. Oh my gosh, it's going to drive me nuts. Okay, there we go. All right. Keep hitting that one. That's what I'm looking for. So this is Bitcoin. We need to go on the daily here against TLT. And let's see here. We had Bitcoin fall off with TLT here, which is interesting. This was March of 20. Yeah. Oh, wait, no, it didn't. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not looking at it correctly here. So notice we had this flight to safety before really Bitcoin resulted afterward, that drop after the flight to safety here. And as it went down, of course, it starts going up. Okay, there we go. So as it's kind of come down, Bitcoin's gone up. But now look, sideways here, sideways here. Lower highs, higher lows. So even though we're potentially looking at Bitcoin going higher up here, if we're looking at this, that's not very, it doesn't look very good for Bitcoin in terms of TLT, right? Bitcoin related TLT there. Bitcoin does appear to be a bit of a laggard though. So we could see TLT move up further before Bitcoin kind of comes down off that. But, the reality is it is where it is. You notice you've got this same area right here. And so Bitcoin has already hit that support area. TLT is nowhere near that resistance area yet. Hey, Crypto Raid, you're very welcome. Sure. But yeah, so, this is something I've talked about on and off, over the year, guys. Maybe 2 years now. Just kind of pay attention to TLT and what's going on there. Because again, remember, this tells you what the market's feeling. Forget what everybody's telling you out there. This is showing you what the market's feeling. If the market's putting money into TLT, then they're concerned about the market. They're concerned. They're fearful. Otherwise, they would keep it in the market. It's risk on. So when they start getting into here, that shows that there's fear of the market. So we need to see the breakouts, like I talked about, kind of like what we have with Bitcoin, everything else, You want to break above these swing highs, but you really want to get above wave 4 here as you're beginning. That right there. As it does it there. So yeah, don't assume that Bitcoin has to go up. I'm trying to remain a bit bullish about Bitcoin at the moment because we haven't confirmed that it needs to go lower. But remember, I've been talking to you guys for a year now about what's been going on and kind of talking you through it. Remember, we talked about the fact that as we were getting here, those last few months, and laser eyes and diamond hands and all that stupid stuff, childish nonsense. Remember, I told you, those are the kind of things that happen at market tops. It doesn't have to be the market top, but it can be some sort of market top, right? It's the over exuberance that gets into the market, and it represents itself in such a way. And so we have this move back down here, and so that looks interesting. Remember, last week we talked about was it last week? 2 weeks ago, maybe, or maybe it was Tuesday. I gave you all those kind of different, more macro ideas for Bitcoin and why they may play, the thought process behind each of them. If you guys are new here and you haven't seen this show before, check out my Tuesday show. I'm in no way saying that any of those have to happen, but what I'm saying is when we look at the broader Wyckoff picture and Elliott Wave picture, that there is some other options in there that things could go that could really shake up the market, potentially. And others that could just keep us going in, the same direction up right now. But I think it's important that you play the levels as they are right now, rather than just assuming you're getting in the low on a $100,000 move, or you're getting in the high on a $20,000 drop or something. Nothing that's happening at this time says that either one of those things need to happen. But they do remain possibilities until we get out of this range, guys. This is a big range. Locally, we got to get out of this range first, one way or the other. Then we got to get out of this range, one way or the other. And then the options become much more clear. But your options become muddled when you're moving sideways. So that's kind of where we're at with all that. So some of the things you can use, again, to kind of maybe help you figure it out is what's going on with TLT here. The other thing we can look at, I've got my special, which one is it? TLT junk chart. And remember, this one looks at your investment grade securities versus your corporate junk bonds, right? And so what this shows is that if this is going up, then it shows that you are getting to that you're in a risk-off environment, because people are moving from junk, which is corporate bonds, into your long-term government securities. When it goes down, it's a risk-on environment, and everybody's moving out of your TLT, out of your government, long-term government securities, and into your corporate junk bonds, okay? But as you can see here, we've got this breakout now happening right here off this wedge. Now, if I'm looking at this, I guess it's possible we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as an A, then a B, 1, 2, maybe 3, 4, 5 here gets you your C. Break out of that wedge. Based on the height of the wedge, we've got a pattern target of 1.62. I noted the volume here, I guess probably a month ago when we looked at this last time, maybe a month and a half ago. I noted the volume here at the bottom, which shows us that you're getting a lot more interest, which comes right here at this cluster. It makes sense. You're getting support there, and came back a little bounce here. It looks like we're trying to break out higher here. So another way of looking at risk-on, risk-off environments suggests that we may be looking to move into risk-off. And if we're looking to move into risk-off, that means you can expect your stocks to continue lower. And if this is an ABC done right here, if this is an ABC done right here, then that means we've got higher highs coming, which means your stock market's going to continue down for a while. And if the stock market's continuing down and the environment's risk-off, guys, I want to be positive. I want to be bullish for you on Bitcoin, but I'm telling you right now, that kind of thing suggests that Bitcoin isn't going to go much higher, or isn't going to go higher at all. That maybe the top's in for now. Now, if that happens, maybe we get a double pump kind of thing like 2013, maybe. But we would, price would, in this case, I think price has got to hit at least that 15,000 area at least. And if you look at my Tuesday video, you'll see arguments for potentially hitting 6,000 or maybe even lower, looking at the larger Wyckoff of it all, Wyckoff structure. But it would also mean that you're just setting up for a huge run to, 500,000 or more, probably 400,000, 500,000 more. And you get a chance to get in on that run much lower. So there's a lot of, I know you guys want price to go up right now, but in the grand scheme of things, the better option would be for it to pull back further, down towards 7,000 or some 12,000, per some of those examples I showed on Tuesday, to really give you this whole, stock market moves, or the Bitcoin moves up potentially. But we'll see how it goes with all that, guys. What I'm trying to do here, guys, is I'm trying to show you that everybody that guarantees you the price is going to do something online, I'm trying to get you to understand that it's all a bunch of fluff. They're telling you what you want to hear so that you'll follow them. Maybe buy something from them. If that was my goal, I sure wouldn't tell you the stuff that's going to make you upset, right? But I believe that if you firmly want to learn how to trade, if that's really what you want to do, then you'll join us. If you just want somebody to pat your butt and, kind of just confirm your emotionally bullish desires, then you won't. You won't join us anyway. So for me, there's no reason telling you what you want to hear. I'm not here just to. I don't want you to get in with us if all you're looking for is somebody to tell you when to buy or sell, because you're not going to be a good fit for our community. Our community is guys. I keep telling you, man. We've got people who've been in there since day one, 3.5 years now. Most of our people have been there for well over 1.5 years, 2 years, and they stick around for a reason. And I think that just builds this amazing community of people, of traders, that if you really are sincere about wanting to learn how to trade, I think it makes it all the better for you. I really do. I keep telling you guys, what I do? Just a guy that does a thing, man. It's our community that I think is special about what we do. It really is. We've got such great people in there, man. Always willing to help. always wanting to share their ideas and hear yours. And because everybody just wants to figure out, they don't want to necessarily be right or wrong. They just want to make money. And that's so important as a trader. The greater your desire is to be correct, the more likely you are to lose money. But if your desire is to make money, then you're much more likely to not care so much whether you're correct or not, because you've got your invalidation, your validation levels, your risk management on there. You just want to hear, you want to be ready for when that information changes and says that maybe you're wrong, so that you can get out of your position and get in the correct one. So yeah. Crypto Raid, you said, thanks for introducing you to Stephen Van Meter. Love his content almost as much as yours. Almost. He's a great guy. I like what he says a lot. He talks about a lot of things that I don't have a lot of time to really talk about because I try to stay more on the charts and the technicals. But he gives you a lot more information on what's going on the macro side with bonds and how reverse repos and things like that work and why they're important to understand. As far as how money actually moves when the Fed prints the money. Again, if you don't know, you think the Fed's printing all this money, so inflation, and that's all there is to it, right? But if you don't understand that your inflation and your deflation comes at your bank level, the creation of new loans, the actual fractional reserve banking is all about, that's what creates it. Because the Fed doesn't directly put that money into the markets. It moves around between intermediaries like your primary dealers and whatnot. And then then there's the switch between dollars and securities, because the securities are what's worth something, and so there's this big, huge thing that goes on. A lot of moving parts, a lot of information in there. And so I'm just glad that I can kind of, direct you guys toward him to understand a lot more of that. Because again, honestly, I just don't have the time to go through it like he does, because I try to spend so much time on the, technos on the chart here. But yeah. So a lot of things going on here, guys. A lot of things going on here. Potential. Nothing guaranteed either way, guys. Okay. That's the big thing from today. All right. Nothing's guaranteed. Pay attention to the levels, local and further out, as I've shown you on Bitcoin, and then, the dollar and TLT and all these things. And as price action develops, you've got a roadmap now. And as it develops, you can gain or lose confidence in the account and what you're looking at, which is going to help you to trade, to set up your trades properly. Remember, you don't want to be the guy or the gal that buys up here and sells down here. You want to buy down here to enjoy that up, or sell up here so you can enjoy this down. And that's where I'm trying to get you guys at, okay? So that's it, guys. Edster, hey, Edster Gadget, appreciate you, man. Thank you for stopping in. We'll see what goes on with all this, okay? So these are just some of the things that I'm watching and how I'm watching. And so, again, we'll constantly be talking about other things and things that you can look at. But just remember, how money moves is a very complex and integrated, financial, globally. So there's a lot of moving parts. And sometimes it takes a while for something to happen. So don't think that just because something doesn't happen overnight, it's not going to happen. You have to pay attention. Because then when it does happen, you'll have wanted to pay attention prior. But there you go, guys. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, a fantastic weekend. If you're new, thank you for stopping in and checking us out. Hopefully you'll be back next Tuesday. That's be my next public stream, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time again, and we'll do the same thing looking through all this. But if you'd like to get, more of a daily kind of dose of what's going on and just hang around a lot of really great people with a lot of knowledge. Some of them have learned a lot from us. Others have already been pretty decent traders, and they came in to hone their skill a bit. And so they've already got a great background coming in. Every once in a while, you'll see people like Crypto ISO or Trader XO stopping in. Good people. I like them a lot. And Scott, of course, will drop in when he has a chance, but he's running his empire, so it's it's a lot more rare these days than he used to. But we do what we can to help you guys out, and try to create hopefully a great learning experience, a great community in there in the process. So there you go. So there it is. As always, like I said, if you want to join us, you can do so over here at howtotradetowin.com. We'd love to have you in there. We do give you a discount if you decide to purchase a longer-term membership to begin with, because again, I tell you guys, you're not going to learn to trade overnight. And so if you're willing to, to invest the time and whatnot from the start, I'm willing to give you a discount to do that. So, we've got that there as well. But anyway, as always, remember, we talk about all this, but at the end of the day, the only thing you control is how much you lose. That's it, guys. So risk management is absolutely the most important part of what you'll do every day as a trader. That's where you make your money, all right? Keep that in mind. Don't ever forget that. Whether you believe any of the other stuff I'm telling you, believe that. Risk management is the most important part of trading. All right? Have a great weekend, everybody. Take care. If you're in Discord, I'll see you guys over there in a bit. Have a great day. Have a great weekend, everybody.